I think someone's gonna give me shit about this, but whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. Hello, Amber Michelle here, back with another video. Just a little something different today than what I've done before on my channel. I do apologize for not having a video up last week. I did the Reiki training weekend at the studio, and it just took a lot of my time and energy, and I was unable to post, but generally I still do come out with new videos every Monday, so please stay tuned. Right now I'm doing this week something a little different. I've seen a few other people do this on their channels and things like that. It's something I've kind of been putting off. It's kind of intimidating to me, to be honest. I said intimidating. I don't know if that came out right, but anyway. But I think I've been doing a really good, long, hard look at my own habits and my own lifestyle, and I think it's just time to at least start working towards creating a positive change in my lifestyle in some other ways, to be more responsible for taking care of the planet, and just really always trying to grow and always trying to challenge myself to be a better person, to always just try to be better than I was yesterday. So I'm not competing against anyone else or anything like that. I'm just trying to be better than I was before personally. And if I keep doing that, eventually, there's always going to be improvement, and I can keep doing better and just be, hopefully, this awesome person. So what I'm doing this week is a low waste challenge. I'm not calling it a zero waste challenge, just out of being realistic, and I'll explain a few reasons why, which is maybe what I might get some shit about in this video. But just know that I am trying my best, and I'm making improvements a little bit, one step at a time here, for the betterment of our planet. And being a vegan, I really care about the animals and their well-being, and the idea of all this plastic ending up in the oceans and causing harm to them, that makes me sad, and I don't want to be a part of that. Not to mention climate change being a huge problem, and just the future of our survival as a human species depends on the future of the planet's survival as well. And we kill the earth, we kill ourselves. Not to mention, ever since traveling some, especially going to Hawaii and these places that are just freaking gorgeous, it just made me feel so in awe and so much gratitude for just how beautiful this planet is that we live on, and also just respecting all different life forms and the ecosystems and everything that's put together. It's pretty amazing, and as humans, we're kind of acting as parasites on the planet, I think, and we're causing some trouble. We're causing some trouble, and I know I'm part of that in some way, and some of it I only have so much control because I'm not a huge corporation, and there are going to be things that come up that I might not be able to avoid. But I can always try to improve and just make the best choices I can to be more a part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So that is why I'm doing this low waste challenge. So for the next week, this thing right here is my trash can. I'm a little concerned about it, but it's kind of small. I didn't want to use a mason jar because I put food and things in those, and I didn't really feel comfortable. Even if I washed it or whatever, I just didn't feel comfortable using that for trash and then putting food in it. Whereas this was, it had baking unsweetened cocoa in it, and I believe this is recyclable. It has a stupid plastic lid, and I can't do anything about that, but definitely gonna recycle this after I'm done using it as my trash bin for this week, because I think that's probably the best thing I can do there. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions or tips to share in the comments, please kindly let me know, because I'm a beginner at this. So I'm just learning one thing at a time, but I'm very much a beginner. I'm very much still learning. So I'm always open to polite sharing of tips and tricks and things that could help on my journey, because I'm really trying to, in a sense, work towards, let this be a catalyst to catapult a change in my lifestyle. It does feel like kind of a big shift to me, but at the same time, I've already implemented some of these things, and I feel like it's a lot like when I first went vegan, and I've been vegan for 8 years now, and it's like easy for me to be vegan now. So I'm hoping that in time this will become more second nature. At least that's my understanding of it. Anyway, blah 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 blah. I know. So this will be my trash can. Now there are some exceptions, and that's what I'm saying. It's a low waste rather than zero waste because I'm just not quite there yet. But I didn't want to wait until like I felt closer to being there. Because if you wait till the perfect conditions to do something, then sometimes you never end up doing it. So I wanted to do this because either way, I'm hoping that this will help me create significantly less waste and also open my eyes to where waste might be coming up in my life and what changes I might be able to implement to lower my own impact. So the low waste challenge is based on the zero waste principles of the 5 R's. So in zero waste, the 5 R's, some of you might know them, are excuse me, refuse. So like refuse things like refuse the straw, refuse the plastic cup that the coffee comes in at the shop or whatever, instead try to have your own, or like refuse plastic bags. Basically just refusing things that you don't really need that could create waste. And also just, even if it's not that wasteful or it could be recycled, like if you don't really need it or it's not really going to bring that much joy to you, like if you kind of think about it, be more mindful and intentional about what we're consuming. So refuse is that, and then reduce is, again, reducing what we need, kind of needing less. I feel like this goes hand in hand kind of with minimalism, which I find appealing, but just kind of living a little bit more simply and not feeling like we need to consume so much. Because the less that we bring in, the less that's going to be pushed out somewhere, because it's got to go somewhere, whether it's a landfill. Even recycling can be energy intensive, wherever it's going to go. But if we bring less in and we're creating less demand, less of a need, overall on a global scale, like it could really do some good. But try to keep this fairly brief. So we'll move on to reuse is the next R. And that's, if you do have things that you brought in or whatever, how can you reuse them? So try to get things more that are not disposable or not single use, be able to reuse them. Or even if something is disposable, maybe get creative about how you might be able to reuse it at least a few more times, and kind of just keep reusing the cycle, or donating things that maybe you no longer have a use for, things like that. And then after that is recycle, which that's like the stuff that you really can't, that's not necessarily like the first thing you want to do though. That's more for like stuff that's basically trash, but that maybe you could save it from the landfill. It could have at least a few more cycles before then, or like glass, which is infinitely recyclable and can be recycled over and over again. So that's really good. So that's kind of stuff, whatever that you can't, that you're finding that you can't refuse, reduce, or reuse, then you would go recycling only after those things. And then the last one after that is rot, or rot the rest, which is your composting. And that is any, food. I generally think it was like food scraps, vegetables, things like that. I recently learned that some companies' tea bags are compostable. I'm trying to buy tea from companies who use compostable tea bags, things like that. It just goes back into the earth, and farmers and things can use them in their soil. This is the part where I'm kind of saying this is not zero waste, this is low waste, because I'm not exactly doing the last R that well, because I'm planning to go to my farmer's market this Wednesday and check to see if I can, to make sure I can drop off my compost there, because I don't have a garden and I don't really have a desire to like do the gardening stuff. But I would rather see my compost go to good use rather than in the trash and in the landfill. I've been told that the farmer's market in Northside does take it, but I'm going to go this Wednesday just to check first. I just bought a composting bin, but I don't want to end up with like a bunch of compost in there and then nowhere to go with it. So that's a little cheat for the next few days. I will be, unfortunately, throwing that stuff just in the trash. I'm not going to put it in here because that would be kind of gross, and it is compostable, so I don't think it counts as actual trash if it can be composted. So hopefully in a few days I can start actually using my compost bin. I don't drop this thing on the floor. And composting in real life. But I'm just going to check on that. So again, please don't judge me. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring out what my resources are and what I can do. But I mean, my process is probably I'm probably just going to buy a lot less stuff, I think. I'm going to really try to rely heavily on the refuse, reduce, and reuse as much as I can. And then there will be some times probably where I'll recycle. some things, you know, that inevitably I'm probably going to come up against stuff. But we have a recycling bin, and I'll continue to use that for those things. But I'm going to try to see if I can keep all the trash, like aside from the compost, in here. I'm not using paper towels anymore this week. That's going to be kind of, I'm so used to using those, and I know it's bad, but it's not like as bad as plastic, I don't think, but it's not great. I am still going to use them just for like if my, like cleaning up cat shit and stuff that's gross, because I'm just not comfortable like reusing something like that. Again, don't judge me. But for everything else, I'm kind of like trying to use like reusable towels and stuff like that, because if I do use a paper towel and it's not like that, you know, then it would go into my trash bin. And I will be honest and transparent about that. I'm not gonna lie and throw stuff away and not put it in here. So that's part of the challenge. I want to see, whoa, sorry, my cat's messing with my camera. I want to see if I can do this. I'm gonna do the best I can. We'll see, but I'm interested to see how it goes. So this is what it is, and I'll be back next Monday, with a video showing what my trash was and like how the challenge went, what I learned from it, what I got from it, and what I'll be doing moving forward. So I hope to see you then, and if you want to join the low waste challenge with me and find a container for your trash, and maybe you can do even better than I do. Maybe you can do the full composting, everything. But if you can't, you know, do the best you can. You always believe work the best you can with what you've got, or work with what you've got and do the best you can with that, and then move forward and see where you can improve. But I bought some stuff from the bulk bins yesterday. I got some reusable produce bags, and then I already had a lot of stuff. So yeah, it should be interesting. So anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow this journey, see how this challenge goes, or see more videos about yoga, veganism, body positivity, minimalism, stuff like that, energy healing, all kinds of fun stuff within like a holistic, healthy lifestyle, then subscribe and share this if you thought it was interesting. And next week will be less of me talking about it, and I'll actually show like what happened. So anyway, have a great day and try to be part of the solution. Peace.